Hey, good morning. I thought I'd take some time, given it's the midway point of the year, to go over the buying process. In the last couple of weeks, the flurry of activity has been intense, and the more things grow, the more they stay the same. The buyers have seemed to have forgotten the process, and I thought I'd go over the buying process one more time. There are 8 steps to it, to the process of buying a business. First is to take charge, to decide you're going to commit yourself and your time to this process. Inside of that step is a vital factor I think is often overlooked. Be respectful of everybody involved in the process, your attorney, your broker, the other broker's time, and the seller's time. Step 2 is to meet with your broker and perform valuations on industry types, be given some industrial information regarding certain categories. As a function of the number of deals we've done over the years, we've collected a ton of data. There's some resources on the business brokerage press that I don't suggest you buy, but it's there. I call it the Bible, but it's a book compiled yearly by other brokers whereby we collect information and share it with each other on key indicators on industries. Step 3, get educated. Get educated about the process, get educated about financials, get educated about how to read a tax return, get educated about how people soften numbers on a tax return, how and where accountants can hide money, the difference between accrual and cash basis, etc., etc. If you're not comfortable with that stuff, you need to be. At the end of the day, it's going to be your money that's going to be spent, so you need to be up to speed on the terms and the things you're going to be analyzing. Number 4, start your search. Get educated in your local marketplace about what are the proper search engines to use. I, of course, recommend you use my website, www.businessesforsaleorlando. Even if you're not using me, the simple fact is that site connects you to the multiple listing services for all the brokers. So you're going to be able to search all the other brokers' listings proactively there. The MLS obviously is where we track our funding and our pricing and our results. So it tends to be more up to speed than BizMarket, Merger Network, or BizBuySell. Once you've found the business, you've done your first showing, you've talked to the buyer, or rather the seller, and you've looked at their BLI. You might have gotten some preliminary information, but you're not going to get bank statements, you're not going to get tax returns, you're not going to get a bunch of information that's going to be required to be given to you during due diligence. So you should make an offer based upon the business listing information sheet. We call this process the offer phase. Sometimes buyers think they should do, how do I make a good offer if I don't know what the numbers are truly doing? Well, if you're working with a good broker, we can look at a BLI with you and kind of compare it to others and say this is right or this is wrong, I believe the numbers or I don't believe the numbers. The bottom line is when you get into due diligence, you're going to be able to request all the documentation you need, bank statements, tax returns, QuickBooks files, etc. And if they're not given to you, you can just withdraw from the deal. And you should write those contingencies into your contract, and your broker and your attorney should help you do that to protect yourself in that process. You're going to have a due diligence phase. That's the next step. And that's usually 10, 15, sometimes 30 days. The bigger deals may take longer, but frankly, it shouldn't take more than 15 days if you're committed to the process to review a set of books. It is not that complicated. And if your team surrounding you isn't able to get it done that quick, I would suggest you probably need to find another team. Step 7 is closing. There's usually a period of 10 to 15 days between due diligence and closing, simply because that allows you to get things in line, release funds from investment accounts, transfer monies around, negotiate leases, coordinate with your moves if you're relocating, and a bunch of other stuff. You have to get on a calendar. Also, we try to always set closings first or end of the month or mid-month. We try and make it as simple as possible from a proration standpoint so that you're not having to hand monies constantly back and forth after a purchase has been completed. And then there's the post-closing phase. There's follow-ups, there's training periods that occur post the closing. I generally will call people about 7 to 8 days after a closing just to check in and see how we're moving along on you know, completely transitioning the business and seeing how things are going to address any issues that have popped up. So that is your 8-step buying process. I can tell you, as a broker who does a lot of deals, that when I see someone deviate from this process, I try and get them back on track as quick as possible. But if they're not going to follow the process, the likelihood of you closing and ever getting a deal done with that buyer is slim or none. So to the buyers out there who watch this video, the process is there for a reason, and if you move one step in front of the other, you're never going to get to the end. It's tried and true. Trust the process. Have the proper legal protections in place to make sure you're protected, but follow the process. It's tried and true, and it's gotten people through the process 1,000 times. As always, if you have any questions, 321-287-0349, or go to my website, www.businessesforsaleorlando.com. Thanks.